All right, so I figured it's probably time. Well, I say it's time, but I thought I'll just do. First of all, I'm uploading this onto my YouTube channel to be reposted, in order to make sure that that you come to my channel rather than your perspective channel, because that's where the podcast is going to be. So if you are watching us on the YouTube channel, I'm going to say, God, please like, please comment and share and shit, like, because algorithms and stuff. So it would be really helpful if you could do that on this first one. So yes, I'm being beggy. So what? I don't care. Anyway, so what I thought I'd do, obviously I did the first video on Kanye, and if I get everything correct, I should have the link. I'll upload the first video up into this channel, and then it will be a case of, that stuff. Anyway, so I thought what I'd do, there's a few people who commented on my video, and I didn't want to sort of like but I just wanted to address a couple of things. Right, so first of all, when I did the video, there was a couple of things I forgot to mention. One of which was that I didn't know Kanye was literally the richest black man in America ever. And people would say, oh, it's because his music. No, it's because his trainers. His trainers that he was using the White Lives Matter t-shirt in order to bring attention to the fact that he's left that deal with Gap, left the deal with was it Adidas, I think, and he's now going solo, which is what, for those of you that really know, like the story, is what Sway was trying to tell him 10 years ago. And I think in the Tucker Carlson, well, he didn't, in the Tucker Carlson interview, he acknowledged that and said, yeah, Sway had the answers after all, because Sway was telling him 10 years ago, just run your own shit, man. You got enough money, you can just do it yourself. And Sway was right. So yeah, Sway did have the answers. Yeah. How, Sway? How? Still one of the best bits of. It was just like all of a sudden it was just two friends having an argument in the pub. It was brilliant. I loved that interview so much, because Sway wasn't afraid of his superstardom. So I'm just gonna move my leg. Wasn't afraid of his superstardom, and just was like, come on, man, just fix up. You can do it yourself. You know what I mean? It's no problem. Anyway, so that said, he is the richest. Oh fuck me! He is the richest man in America, richest black man in America's history, and I just. There's a little bit of the conspiracy brother part of me, for those of you who know Undercover Brother, sort of goes, yeah, it's interesting when, black men get into super powerful positions, it seems as though the knives are out, both from all sides of any community, really. I think Chris Rock always says, once you start earning a certain amount of money, you start becoming black and start becoming green. And I love Chris Rock. He's one of the greatest. But yeah, he definitely wasn't, referring to how comfortable it is to be that rich. He's saying that it's problematic to be that powerful and rich and black. But it's probably problematic to be powerful and rich, no matter what race you are. But particularly if you're a black male, it seems that way, So, yes. So anyway, look, here's the thing. Someone brought up a point of what he actually tweeted, which came across as anti-Semitic, which kind of, yes, I'm going DEFCON 3 on all Jews. Okay. That's a really stupid statement. If you meant it in any kind of meaningful way, that he's calling for all-out war on the Jewish community, fuck yeah, he should be hung, drawn and quartered. No two ways about it. But I don't think that's what he was doing. And I don't think it's... And look, I'm not trying to defend Kanye here. I'm just trying to... I think it's... What's slightly irritating me is that there's a lot of positives from what he could do, and I wish he could do more of that. I would agree with that. But I just feel like he's vilified so extremely, and people spend so much time talking about him, and it just seems really weird to me. And look, I'm guilty of anyone else doing it, because what I'm doing now, right? So, I'm full of shit, I guess, in a way, but fuck it, whatever, I'm a hypocrite, I don't care. So, so I wasn't aware of that comment at the time of doing the video yesterday, and that is a problematic comment in itself. but you know, he was trying to bring attention to a bigger view, and he could have probably done it more eloquently, much like when he said, you know, slavery was a choice. I think he was trying to make a better point there, and he didn't make it very well. That's the problem. He's not the greatest public speaker. That's evident. I don't think he should really be speaking publicly at all. I think he should be speaking through his music. But what I am aware of is that I think the haphazard way that people think his brain isn't really that haphazard at all. I mean, you know, okay, some of you are going to groan now, but on the Joe Rogan podcast, which I do watch, he spoke, I think there was one period where he spoke almost 45 minutes without Joe Rogan saying a word. That never happens on Joe Rogan. Never happens on Joe Rogan. And everything he was saying was insane but made sense. And to me, at least. And to, I think, to many people. So, look, I'm not going to defend when he says shitty things. Like, you know, I'm a huge MMA fan, for example. And I'm a massive John Jones fan, or I was, right? I still am a fan of his. If it ever came to light that he did, you know, there was an accusation of him of domestic abuse. If it ever came to light that he did actually, in fact, hit his wife, I'll be done with him, and I am kind of done with him now. However, the case was never brought to charges, and we know that this doesn't happen a lot in domestic incidents. I appreciate all of the evidence that people would sort of bring up to me, but for me, I still feel like the only fair way of judging these things. This is a massive aside. Is to, you know, innocent till proven guilty. Really, I think if you start going beyond that, if you start getting, you know, guilty by, you know, trial by media, then, you know, it's the end for everyone. Really, that's my opinion. But you know, it is what it is. So, Kanye, I probably won't do much more after this, but I just want everyone out there who saw my first vid and thought that maybe I was, like, you know, supporting his anti-Semitism. No, fuck no, of course not. I've often wondered why, and again, I'm not trying to pit anyone against each other, but I do think it's interesting that you can say shit about, say, the Chinese community, and you'll be deemed a racist. Okay, you say shit about, you know, black people or Arabic people or French people or Germans, and you'd be called a racist. I'm just confused why it's called anti-Semitism when it's against the Jewish community. Please, someone put in the comments why that is, or why they think that is, and if there's a defined reason, please educate me. I've sort of been asking some of my Jewish friends, and they've sort of had different answers, so I'm just kind of asking you now if you could put that in. Why is it anti-Semitism when you say something problematic or negative about a Jewish community? Rather, why isn't it just racism? I mean, or why is it just bigotry? Or, you know, I don't know. And there's probably a very simple reason. You know, Ben Shapiro is a very well-known sort of Jewish commentator. Says shit all the live day long about black people all the time. All the time. Like, facts about black fatherlessness in the home, you know, about black community and how the rates they shoot each other, and he's always got amazing conversations and arguments, statistics in relation to the Jewish community, in relation to the black community. But then if anyone talks about the Jewish community in any kind of, like, why is this or what is this, it seems as though that charge gets thrown against them, and that just confuses me. I'm not angry about it, I'm not, like, pissed off, I'm not, like, you know, blah blah. So that's a question I'm putting to you, honestly. I just really would love to know. And I've had answers, but I just would like to know what you think. The other thing was about this idea that the phrase "white lives matter," that it was used as a sort of reaction to Black Lives Matter, because racists who didn't like the idea of black lives being put ahead in any kind of way were saying white lives matter as a result. You know, white lives matter too, we all matter. Yeah, but you see, that was like, why can't people understand that was always going to happen? That was always going to happen. There was always going to be a counter to whenever someone that seems at a disadvantage or a minority or whatever the fuck you want to call us, marginalised or whatever the word is right now, ask for, equal treatment. There's always going to be that resistance. The George Cross, right? Picture that in your head. I mean, okay, people outside of the UK might not necessarily get this, but for people in the UK, right, and people who have black friends, picture the George Cross. Where do you normally see it? Where do you normally see it on? Yeah? Don't see many in, Brixton. You don't see many George Cross in Brixton. Go out to Essex, you see a few out there, right? Okay, and that's good. Is it that the people in Essex are more patriotic about England than people in Brixton? Not necessarily. It was a symbol, or maybe is still a symbol, for something. And that something might be deemed as kind of negative. But then when I think of the George Cross in other instances, I think of the England football team. I think of when in the Commonwealth Games, we're represented as England, or in other sports where we play as England, the rugby especially, when we won the World Cup with the George Cross flying in the crowds, and I was very proud and happy to see it, right? Okay, so what I'm just merely suggesting is, how about if Black Lives Matter was considered such a positive thing, which I'm really kind of over whether it is or not, why don't you just, why can't we reassociate the phrase, if we have to use it, the phrase White Lives Matter, as a positive thing as well? Because it does. Let's look at all the great things white people have done. And I'm not, you can accuse me of being a coon, but anyone that knows me knows that's not the case. So I'm just trying to be objective here, right? Like I said, I mentioned Photex, Source Direct, and weirdly, I just couldn't think of any white people yesterday. That was what I was like, Photex, Source Direct, those are the only white people that exist. I couldn't actually think of any more in the moment. But, I think of all the people in my life that have been white, who have been amazing friends, who've been helped me in different ways, who have been partners to me, who have been, the mother of my child. Maybe that could be a spin on it. I don't know. Again, black guy talking, just giving an opinion. And I'm not saying how you should or shouldn't live your life. I'm just merely trying to work out how we've got to this stage where we've gone from, and again, for my friends who were troubled by DEFCON 3 on all Jews, we've come from rivers of blood shall flow. Yeah, that's where we've come from to on Twitter, which you can delete, DEFCON 3, and you misspelt it as well, on all Jews. Yeah, okay. Right. Did he mean it? I don't think he did. Did he intend to cause a reaction in the Jewish community? I think that's exactly what he got. And again, he's sort of doing this weird Murdoch-like, and I'll refer to that in a second, sleight of hand on everyone. Now, Murdoch was the crazy one in the A-Team, yeah? But he was always the one, really, that was kind of pulling the strings and knew what the fuck he was doing the whole time. Wasn't he? Anyone that watched the A-Team, Hannibal was the leader, you had Faceman who was the looks, BA was the muscle, and Murdoch was the crazy one. But you always kind of knew Murdoch was never that crazy, and he knew exactly what the fuck was going on. He'd always be in the right place, he'd always be able to punch a man, he'd always get the bit of wood and smash some geezer in the head, or do whatever, slow motion throw, or whatever they did in the A-Team. It always happened. Murdoch was the one. So, look, I'm not trying to defend Kanye here. I'm clapping my hands at you now. I'm not trying to defend Kanye here. I'm just saying, the guy's worth 2 billion, man. It's like, everyone's saying he's crazy. And I'm just like, I don't see where the crazy is. He's literally got everyone talking about him whenever he wants to. It's like he's Victor Von Doom, really. And that's probably too much of a compliment, actually, because Victor Von Doom is fucking cool. Don't geek out on Marvel, Chris, don't geek out. I was about to start talking about Victor Von Doom then. It's just like, no, let's not do that. It's one of my favourite Marvel characters, just anyway. But yeah, I mean, look, to the people that, so I'm sort of half answering what people have said. Shout out to everyone that replied and commented. Someone put a post about how the Jewish community, you know what, Detboi, good on you, mate. Appreciate it. Shout out to you, brother. I love your music, by the way. Detboi, he put a post about how the Jewish community affected rhythm and blues. And I was like, fuck, shit, man. I didn't even, you know what I mean? It's well good. It's like a really positive thing. Again, this is a result of Kanye saying you know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, he said that, I've reacted, done this video, whatever, I've learned a little bit, and then now I'm learning more as we go along, and now I'm saying it back to you, and then the people watching this hopefully will learn that as well, and it's amazing, so Google it. I might even try and put the link in the bottom of the video about how the Jewish community helped rhythm and blues grow and become massive. And, you know, like, shit, man, I love The Alchemist. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, he's been the, you know, I'm doing, my best friend's Jewish now, I'm doing that now, aren't I? But anyway, I'm not going to do that. Shout out Aboudi, shout out Benny V. You know I'm doing that, sorry, I don't mean to put it on blast. But I just think it's been a really, really interesting 24 hours. I really got to thank everyone for sending in their comments. Also, thank you to the people, you cheeky fucking instigators, you. Certain mans be sending me things, oh yeah, Chris, you should talk about this. It's like, no, I'm not Mjolnir, man. You're not Thor. I'm not your weapon, yeah, for your personal beefs. All right, I'm not doing that. I'm going to talk about things that I know and care about. Someone suggested I should talk about feminism as well. It's like, yeah, maybe. I'm not going to touch on one. Let me get an audience first before I lose them. No, I'm joking. But shout out to you. And yeah, I think it's been really, really fun, and I'm going to love doing this. I've got my first guest lined up. I just want to make sure he's coming on Thursday to record. So if you want to see that, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying that. We've got to think of a better way. But just do it, for fuck's sake. That's the way to win your audience. Just do it. You know what I mean. Anyway, look, I'm going to try and keep this as raw as possible. I hope that I don't end up doing many takes and shit like that. It's just never been me. I've always shot off the cuff, and I will continue to. So, love to you all. For those wondering what's going on in perspective, a lot, and I can't really say any more than that because there's still some things that are holding things up, which is really irritating. Anyone wonder what's happening with RNS? Quite a lot as well, which is really exciting. So that's going to be good. I don't know if I could talk about it, but I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. But anyway, there's some really exciting things happening with RNS. Jesus, like really, really, like there's one thing in particular that's going to be coming out. I don't know. I need to check with Ren, but look at my face. Seriously. Anyway, love to you all, and I'll catch you up on the next one.